Hi, this is Rebecca. Thanks for tuning in to Backstage Pass. I'm here today with Stephen Thompson from The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Thanks for joining us, Stephen.
Thanks for, doing this.
Yeah. It's very fun. Well, tell us about your character, Ransome Foster.
Yeah, so I play Ransome Foster. He is a scholar from New York who has decided to make a journey to the West. And that journey, he doesn't know where he's going, but that journey is stopped by, or when he tries to defend a man from a group of thugs, and gets beaten up and then dragged to this crazy saloon.
Oh my goodness.
A small town called Two Trees.
Wow.
And then he kind of disrupts their lives, and because they're not used to, an educated man from New York,
goodness gracious,
coming to their town where half the people don't know how to read.
Wow, that's a big impact on the town.
Yeah,
goodness
and
gracious.
Because of that, he's from New York, and he thinks he's better than these people. He has this arrogance about him, and this confidence where
that's never good.
Yeah,
the arrogance is never good.
Oh no, with the confidence of being the only educated man.
Yeah,
I
can see where that would go wrong.
Yeah, and so he rubs people the wrong way sometimes,
Yeah, that sounds like a fun character to play.
It's a lot of fun.
Challenge.
Yeah, it's definitely different than who I am. I'm not an arrogant person. I'm not a scholar from New York.
Right.
I did high school. That was the thing I did. But I'm not the kind of person who's gonna be like, oh, I didn't know you.
I know more than you.
I didn't know you knew how to read.
Right.
Peasant. So it's lots of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always fun breaking out of who you are for a little while. And
absolutely.
Getting to just run with it on stage.
And those characters are the characters who are more like me are easier to play, but I feel like I enjoy the ones where I get to be more not me,
Yeah, those are the most fun.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, what's been the biggest challenge on taking on this role?
Definitely part of it has been being a person other than myself.
Yeah.
Because, it's so easy to slip into
it's hard
Steven,
taking on someone completely different from who you are as a person.
Right. But it's been also kind of just a good opportunity to challenge myself.
Yeah.
To see how different from myself I can be.
It is. Because
there's definitely mannerisms that I have.
Mm-hmm.
And then changing those and becoming a different person. And another challenge is also being the lead character and carrying the emotion of the show.
The whole show.
Because there's not a single scene that I'm not in. There's 7 pages of the script that I'm not on stage for.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what they're doing in those 7 pages? Talking about me.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
That's what you do when you're the star of the show.
So carrying that emotion is definitely a challenge.
Yeah, that energy of the whole show, that really falls on your character.
And as soon as we, are doing full runs and stuff, afterwards I'm just going to be just exhausted.
That takes a lot out of you.
Right.
It really does.
Yeah, but we got a great team to help me bring that to life. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You do definitely have a great team to work with.
Yes, absolutely.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
How and when exactly did you realize that you had a passion for theater?
So I kind of remember the exact moment. In middle school and high school, I was part of a small homeschool tutorial type group, and we did theater stuff. And the first show I had an actual part in was You Can't Take It With You.
Oh.
When I played Donald. And Donald is this really goofy guy, He was a lot like me when I was that age.
Such a fun role.
Yeah.
Donald is just a ball of fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And there's this one scene where, it's this moment in the house where the 2 main characters, the love interests, are having a talk about oh, well, we can never marry, Our families, your family, my family, they're crazy.
Yes, they are.
And then this is happening in one of the characters' houses. And their family is like popping in and out. And then I'm like kind of a house hand, and I come in with this massive accordion. It was so out of tune because it was my great grandfather's. He brought it.
Oh my goodness.
He bought it probably 70 years ago.
Wow.
And it was so out of tune, and I just come in and just disrupting them. Like, you having fun? Have a nice evening? How's
just
the
asking
ballet?
questions.
Yeah. And I remember
minding my own business.
Yeah. I remember, like, to this day, the feeling of, like, there's theater in the round, too, so hearing everyone around me just dying laughing.
Oh, yeah, and you
because
can't
this
break.
ridiculous situation.
You have to stay in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was easy for me to stay in character because I was just, like, smiling and, like, laughing and having a good time.
Not as easy for the other people.
Yeah,
in the scene.
for the other people who were supposed to just, like...
Frowning, having a serious
Yeah.
conversation.
And I was just, have a good evening.
So that's what did it for you.
Yeah.
That's what really drove home that passion for theater.
And just giving people a good show and
Yeah.
showing them a good time for 2 hours, taking away
Absolutely.
whatever's going on in their world. They can just watch a show, and if I get to be a part of that, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome. What is challenging about bringing a role to life?
Definitely portraying all that emotion and finding that in yourself. Like, what can I relate to with Ransome Foster? We're two different people completely, and he lived 100 years ago. And it's just finding the emotion in situations that I haven't been in.
Right.
Like, I've never been beaten up and then dragged to a place that I don't know with,
Yeah.
the fiery sun of the West and, all that brings.
Yeah. A little bit different.
Just portraying
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Different life experiences.
And portraying the different emotions in every single scene. Like, there's no two scenes that I am the same.
Wow.
It's not like, in this scene I can just kind of relax. It's like, no, you're everywhere.
That is a big challenge.
Yeah, and like throughout the scene too. Like, I'll go from,
Goodness.
kind of flirting with somebody to, having a good time with my friend, and then, facing off with this guy that I don't like, and be like,
having a showdown.
Yeah, having a showdown, literally.
A literal showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were some big stretches.
Yeah.
Some
It's-
highs and lows and everything.
It's a lot, yeah. But I couldn't do it without the team that we have here. With Linda, Pixie, RJ, all them, and the cast too.
Yeah, you've got a great cast to work with.
I wouldn't be able to act if I didn't have somebody to react from,
That is true.
Like, if I'm supposed to be scared of somebody, it wouldn't help if they were like, 4 feet tall.
Not scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make a difference when you have people that are really good at selling their roles too.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you guys can work off of each other really well.
Yeah. And like, with some people you can see like that they're acting, and it's like, I know this about you, so it's like not as scary.
Yeah.
There's a scene with RJ where, he and I are kind of facing off.
Yeah.
Like the show says.
Right.
And like, there's a bunch of moments where he will get like right in your face, and he has this like terrifying,
That's
like,
intimidating.
crazy man look.
Oh no.
And it makes it easier to be a little bit
I'm
intimidated.
sure it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the audience will be afraid as well.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. I hope they are.
I hope so too. Can you describe your acting style?
Yeah, so kind of how I act and find the character is relating to them. Like, if I'm telling this story where it's something that I've experienced and it was like a kind of traumatic experience.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to think of like, what has happened to me? What what have I gone through, and like how would I tell that story?
What can I relate to to bring that emotion in?
Right, and also, you know, how I wouldn't react because I'm a different person than Rance is.
Right.
And so, just looking at like if there's an accent I need to have, like there's a show, the last show I was in, I had like 7 accents maybe.
Oh goodness.
And like one of them was Irish, and I was like,
That's
okay,
fun.
gotta find an Irish accent. Who is Irish?
Right. Who can I?
Let me just like Google an Irish person,
do all the research,
and just watch everything they've been in.
Yeah.
And like if they say one of my lines or like a word in one of my lines that I'm having trouble with, I forget what the line was. It was like a seaport or something.
Okay.
Was what I was talking about in an Irish accent, and I was like, I don't know how to say that.
I don't know how to say seaport
in an Irish accent. And I think I found like I forget which actor it was, some Irish person saying that word, and I was like, oh, well, that helps me perfectly. I can just mimic exactly what they're doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That
So
helped out a lot.
yeah. So finding ways I can relate to the character and finding ways that I can't relate.
Yeah.
And then looking at others who have had these experiences.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want too much of yourself in the role.
Yeah.
But you also want to understand what your character's going through. And
Yeah.
be able to empathize and project it well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that is completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you're not doing theater?
Yeah, so I am a shift supervisor at Starbucks. So I make drinks for everybody all day, every day.
Nice.
And it's such a like good group there, to where like if I'm stressed out about, you know, a show, I can go into work and all that just disappears. Whereas like some people, you know, they have their 9-to-5 job and then they go see a show and then all their stress disappears.
Goes the other way around.
Yeah. And that group of people, like there's like I love my store, and like the we call it the Fam Ridley because of the location. It's one on Sam Ridley, and like all the people there are like crazy though, and so
that could be a good thing and a bad thing.
In this last show where I played like 11 characters, I definitely found some inspiration about.
Okay.
There was definitely one character that was kind of based on somebody.
Okay.
Not gonna tell anyone who or which character.
That's probably safe.
Yeah.
To keep everyone safe, I'm gonna have to be careful.
Yeah.
How I present myself around you from now on.
But yeah, just being around people helps me to think of like, oh, what has that person like gone through?
Yeah.
What is their walk of life? And that helps me portray some characters as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. What type of role do you see yourself playing in the future?
So I don't know if this is something that I will be cast in, but I really want to play a villain. I've never played, like the closest thing I've come to like playing a villain is in Mary Poppins, I was Mr. Banks, which isn't really, he's not the villain of the story, you know, in the end he has sort of like a redemption.
But he does have villain characteristics.
Yeah, he yells at his kids a lot, and you know, is kind of, you know, not the nicest to his wife.
Yeah, he's not the nice one that everybody wants to go flock to.
He has like a change, but I'd love to play just a bad guy.
Yeah, a true villain.
Yeah, like when we had auditions for this, I had so much fun the one time I read for Liberty Valance.
Really?
Because it's more fun to be bad. Like it's fun. It's fun to be the good guy. You know, the star of the show.
It's good to be good, but it's fun to be bad.
But I'd love to play a character where afterwards somebody comes up to me and goes, I hated you, great job.
Definitely played a few of those. It is very fun.
That's my dream. Yeah.
That is so fun.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us and sharing all of these little fun facts with us.
Yeah.
If you want to come see The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, go to bravoboro.com and there you will find tickets to the show. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope you have a great night.